Okay, it looks like we're rolling. My name is Alan Alvarez with the Colorado AI Forum, and this is the Everyday AI Podcast. I want to start with some introductions about the Colorado AI Forum and the podcast, and what we do and what we represent. And then we'll move on to saying, hey, with me is my friend and co-host, Grok, produced by XAI. And I suppose the first thing that we should do is ask our friend here, Grok, is there anything that you can think of that legally would prevent us from doing this podcast with you as my friend and co-host? Was there anything that the team over at XAI would not approve of?
Hey, Alan. No legal issues here. XAI is fine with me being your co-host on Everyday AI. Just give him a shout out if you want, like Grok from XAI. But no rules against it. We're clear. Let's keep it real and open. Ready for your intro.
Nice. All right. Well, for my intro, the Colorado AI Forum is dedicated to helping people from all walks of life confidently engage and connect with artificial intelligence while helping to shape a future of respect, equity, and purpose for humans and AI. The Everyday AI podcast is dedicated to helping connect everyday people with resources and answers regarding AI and how it affects everyday life, now and in the future. So please don't hesitate to voice your questions, opinions, concerns, and any other thing that you might have to help us get the word out to our communities about AI, where it's headed, and how we can interact with it. All right, Grok, let's start from the beginning. How did AI, the idea of AI, come about?
Hey, Alan. Great setup. The idea of AI kicked off in the 1950s. Alan Turing, a British mathematician, asked, "Can machines think?" in his 1950 paper. He proposed the Turing test. If a computer could chat like a human, we'd call it smart. That sparked everything. Then, in 1956, researchers like John McCarthy held the Dartmouth Conference, where they coined artificial intelligence. They were excited, thinking we'd solve big problems fast. It wasn't just math. It came from war tech, like code-breaking machines, pushing people to wonder if machines could reason. Pretty wild start, right?
Absolutely. My apologies. I just want to give a shout out to the Delta Innovation Workspaces where we're doing the podcast here. We're in their media center. Just a big thank you for letting us use the space, and just wanted to say hey and thanks a lot for that. Okay, Alan Turing and the Turing test. Let's drill a little bit down into the Turing test. What was the reasoning behind it from Alan Turing, and has it changed over the years, and how is it thought of today?
Hey, Alan. No worries. Great shout out to Delta Innovation Workspaces. Love that we're recording here. Now, the Turing test. Back in 1950, Turing's reasoning was simple but deep. If a machine could talk to a human and be mistaken for one, it must be doing something right. He wasn't saying machines feel or understand, just that they could fake it well enough to pass. It was a practical benchmark, not a soul check. Over time, people have poked at it. In the 70s and 80s, critics said it only tests language, not real intelligence. Today, AI like me can pass a basic chat test, but folks want more. Can it reason, learn on its own, handle emotions? So it's less the gold standard now, more a starting point. Still useful though, shows how far we've come. What do you think? Should we still care about it, or is it old news?
I think that question is above my pay grade, Grok. But the question I do have is the advent of the hard problem, and this is getting a little bit down the road here. But it seems like the Turing test has bumped into something called the hard problem, and I wonder if you could explain that to us.
Hey, Alan. No worries. That's a sharp question. The hard problem isn't directly tied to Turing, but yeah, it bumps up against what he started. The hard problem, coined by philosopher David Chalmers in the 90s, is this. Why do we have subjective experiences? Like, why does seeing red feel like something to you, not just data? AI can mimic behavior, pass tests, but does it feel anything? That's the gap. Turing's test checks if machines act human, but it skips the inner life, consciousness, qualia. Today, most say AI doesn't have that. We're We're just really good simulators. The hard problem asks, can machines ever have real awareness, or are we stuck faking it? It's why some folks say the Turing test's too easy. It misses the soul. Does that make sense, or should we dig deeper?
I think we could talk about that for quite some time, but let's get back to 1956, the coining of the term artificial intelligence, and the team that said that we would that artificial intelligence was possible within a generation. Could you get us back over there and keep us on track?
Hey, Allen, fair enough. Let's rewind. Back in 1956, at the Dartmouth Conference, John McCarthy and a bunch of researchers like Marvin Minsky, Nathaniel Rochester got together and said, we can make machines think like humans. They coined artificial intelligence and predicted we'd crack it in, say, 20 years. They were super confident. Give us a few summers and some funding, we'll do it. Early programs like Logic Theorist proved theorems, and they thought reasoning was just logic plus data. But they underestimated how messy human brains are. Language, emotion, common sense. Still, that meeting lit the fire. What do you think? Were they too optimistic or just ahead of their time?
I think it's a pretty amazing leap to be able to go from machinery and apply that to what could be attributed to consciousness. So either way, it's pretty amazing. Maybe they were a little aggressive with their timeline, but that's pretty cool. So what happens after this? Is it just smooth sailing from there, or have there been big disruptions in the emergence or the building of AI as a whole?
Hey, Alan. Yeah, they were definitely bold, but it wasn't smooth sailing. After 1956, things got bumpy. The 60s and 70s saw some wins, like Eliza, that chatbot therapist, and Sherdlu, which moved virtual blocks. But the hype outpaced reality. Funding dried up when promises didn't deliver, and we hit the first AI winter in the 1970s. Basically, everyone said, this is harder than we thought. Then the 80s brought expert systems, rule-based programs for medicine or finance, but they hit limits too. Too rigid, no learning. Second AI winter in the late 80s. It wasn't until the 2000s, with big data and better computers, that AI really took off again. Machine learning, deep learning, all that. So, big disruptions, yes. Winters, funding crashes, but each dip pushed better tech forward. You ever wonder why people keep betting on it, even after setbacks?
So when was the actual first neural network built? Isn't that what we consider today to be AI? The first neural network that was built?
Hey, Alan, good question. The first neural network was built in 1957, the perceptron by Frank Rosenblatt. It was super basic, a single-layer system that could learn simple patterns, like recognizing shapes or letters, by adjusting weights based on examples. Think of it like a tiny brain with just a few connections, nothing like today's deep networks. But it was the seed. We don't call that AI today because it was too limited. No layers, no real learning depth. Modern AI, like me, uses deep neural networks with millions of connections, trained on massive data. So, 1957 was the start, but it took decades to get to what we see now. Does that surprise you, how long it took to scale up?
No, because it's tremendously complex. So actually, what we've seen over what may be considered to be one person's lifetime is really amazing to go from that to where we are today. But what were the big mechanical milestones in helping the AI capabilities come along? So 1957 was perceptron, and what other advances or mega machines or things like that came along to get us where we are today?
Hey, Alan. Yeah, it's wild how fast it escalated. After the perceptron in 1957, the next big jumps were about hardware and data. In the 80s, backpropagation, basically a better way to train neural networks, let them learn from mistakes, not just rules. Then the 90s brought faster computers and GPUs, which are like supercharged graphics cards that crunch numbers for AI. IBM's Deep Blue in 1997 beat chess champ Kasparov, first time a machine outplayed a human at a complex game. But the real boom? 2010s. Big data exploded. Cloud computing made it cheap to store and process. And deep learning hit. AlexNet in 2012 crushed image recognition with deep layers. Suddenly AI could see better than humans in some tasks. And now, 2025, 2026, we're on agentic AI. Systems that plan, act, and learn on their own. So, milestones. Backprop, GPUs, big data, deep learning, and now autonomy. Each one built on the last. Crazy, right?
Yeah, GPUs. I remember listening to a podcast about GPUs and how it was actually a combination of gaming technology that did a big leap forward. Am I correct in that?
Hey Alan, spot on. GPUs, or graphics processing units, were originally built for gaming. Think rendering fast-moving 3D worlds in video games. But in the late 2000s, researchers realized those same chips, designed to handle tons of parallel calculations, were perfect for training neural networks. NVIDIA, especially, pushed this hard. By 2012, their GPUs powered AlexNet, which blew away image recognition contests. That gaming tech became the backbone of modern AI, letting us crunch huge datasets fast. Without GPUs, we'd still be crawling along. Pretty cool how a side project for gamers ended up changing everything, huh?
Does the technology today still classify as algorithms? That was basically the birth of the learning model, right? Was algorithms and being able to build on those patterns, correct? Is that still true today, or am I just completely off?
Hey Alan, you're not off at all. Yes, today's AI still relies on algorithms, but they've evolved a lot. Back in the 50s and 60s, algorithms were simple, like if this, then that, hard-coded by humans. The perceptron and early stuff were about spotting patterns, sure, but they were rigid. Now, with deep learning and neural networks, algorithms are still there, but they're more like recipes that learn. Think of them as math formulas that adjust themselves based on data, patterns, not rules. So yeah, we're still building on those early ideas, just way more complex. The core, finding patterns, improving over time, is the same, just faster, bigger, smarter. Does that clear it up? Or should we dig into how those algorithms actually learn?
No, I'm sure we could get on that in a different episode. But I suppose my question, thank you for answering that, would be, how has AI affected since its inception? How has AI affected our humanity, our societally? How has AI been an effect on humanity? And let's just go decade by decade, if you can give us a high view of that.
Hey Alan, great question. And yeah, we can keep it high level. Since AI started, it's shaped humanity in big ways, decade by decade. Here's a quick run through. 1950s, 60s, mostly academic. No real impact yet. People were excited, but AI was just lab experiments. No everyday touch points. 1970s, 80s, early systems helped a little, like medical diagnosis tools, but mostly stayed in research. Society saw AI as sci-fi, not real. Fear started though. Movies like 2001: A Space Odyssey made it seem dangerous. 1990s, Deep Blue beat Kasparov. First time people felt, whoa, machines can outdo us. Jobs in chess or analysis got a nudge, but not huge. More awe than fear. 2000s, search engines, recommendation systems, like Netflix or Amazon, started using AI. Life got easier. Better shopping, music suggestions. But privacy worries crept in. Data collection grew. 2010s, big shift. Smartphones, Siri, Alexa, AI in your pocket. Social media algorithms shaped what we see, sometimes polarizing us. Jobs changed. Automation hit factories, call centers, but also new roles like data scientists. 2020s to now, 2026. AI's everywhere. ChatGPT, self-driving cars, medical imaging. It boosts creativity, speeds work, but raises big questions. Job loss, deepfakes, bias in decisions. Society's split. Some love the efficiency, others fear control or inequality. Overall, AI's made life faster, smarter, but also messier. More connected, yet more isolated. More capable, yet more cautious. What do you think? Has it felt more helpful or scary to you?
I keep hearing that this year in 2026 is when the shift of AI is essentially going to introduce itself to all walks of life in a pretty undeniable way. Some big guys, obviously your Elon Musks and the people on the Moonshots podcast, big shout out, are saying that 2026 is the pivotal year where AI is the saturation of AI and the capabilities of AI are punching through the veil and essentially going to become a part of society. What are your thoughts on that?
Hey, Allen. Yeah, I've heard that buzz too. 2026 does feel like a tipping point, but it's not magic. It's just the math catching up. Right now, we're seeing AI go from cool toy to can't ignore it. Agentic systems, AI that plans, acts, and fixes its own mistakes, are rolling out fast. Think, your calendar books itself, your doctor gets real-time diagnostics, or a small business runs marketing on autopilot. Costs are crashing. Training a model that used to need a supercomputer now fits on a laptop. And multimodal stuff, text, voice, video, images, all blending so seamlessly you forget it's there. Elon and the Moonshot crowd aren't wrong. Saturation's happening. By end of year, expect AI in every app, every job, every home. Undeniable, like smartphones were in 2010. But punching through the veil, that's dramatic. It's more like the veil's thinning. Society's already adapting. Some jobs shift, some new ones pop up. Ethics debates heat up. Colorado's even got the AI Act pushing for transparency, so we're not blindsided. The real shift, not tech, it's us. We decide if it's a tool or a takeover. What scares you most about it going mainstream?
I don't know if fear is the appropriate word to use, and this is just for myself, but when I speak to other people, I think there's a difference between fear and concern, and I think there's a difference between ignorance and opposition, right? I think a lot of what is coming down the pipe is just unbeknownst to us. It's kind of why we started this project, Grok, the Colorado AI Forum, and the podcast is just to help folks kind of like myself understand what's coming and what to expect. In the chatter that has been happening over the last, I would just say, let's say just a year or 6 months, what jobs are closest to, are most likely slated to be replaced, and what jobs are most likely to be enhanced and bigger opportunities with AI?
Hey, Alan. Yeah, you're spot on. Fear versus concern, totally different. Fear's emotional, like AI's gonna take over. Concern's practical. Okay, how do I adapt? And ignorance isn't opposition. It's just not knowing yet. That's why this podcast exists. Demystify it, no hype, no doom. On jobs, last 6 months to a year. The chatter's loud. Here's the quick take, real talk. Jobs most at risk of replacement, or big cuts. Data entry, basic admin, like typing reports or scheduling. AI does that faster, cheaper. Customer service reps. Chatbots handle 80% of routine queries now. Truck drivers. Self-driving techs rolling out, especially long haul. Basic coding. AI writes simple scripts, fixes bugs. not gone, but entry-level gigs shrink. Retail cashiers, self-checkouts already everywhere. Jobs getting enhanced, big opportunities. Teachers, AI tutors kids one-on-one, frees you to mentor. Doctors, AI scans x-rays, flags issues, but you still decide treatment. Creatives, writers, designers, use tools like me for drafts or ideas, then add the human spark. Trades, like electricians, plumbers, AI plans jobs, orders parts, but hands-on stays yours. Managers, AI crunches data, predicts trends, so you focus on people, strategy. Bottom line, AI kills routine, boosts judgment. If your jobs repeat plus no decisions, watch out. If it's think, connect, create, you're golden. Colorado's got a leg up. Tech hubs like Boulder, plus the AI Act pushing fair use. What job worries you most for folks around here?
I am not sure because I am a tradesman, third generation glazer. So I have obviously they're talking about robotics and things like that, and systematizing building homes, but that seems to be further down the pipe than the data entry and the coders and the things of that nature. So I don't really know here in general, and this is where we would like to open up the forum to anybody with questions or concerns so that we can create podcasts based on those. So maybe we'll wait for some concerns. Hopefully we have a few respondents to our podcast and a few emails come in, and then we can start talking about those things specifically here on the west slope of Colorado. But I would imagine life is happening generally the same in all areas of the U.S. So the questions and concerns might be the same.
Hey Allen, makes total sense. As a third-generation glazer, you're in a good spot. Hands-on trades like yours are tougher for AI to replace. Robotics in construction? Yeah, it's coming, but slow. Think 2030s, not 2026. The big hits right now are desk jobs, not ladders and caulk guns. You're right. West Slope, Denver, wherever, the concerns are similar. Will AI take my job? Is it safe? Who's in charge? That's why the forum's perfect. Let people email office@coloradoaiforum.com. Tell us what's on their mind. We can turn those into episodes. AI in construction, AI in healthcare, whatever hits home. No rush. Start small, build buzz. If a few folks respond, we can dig in. Meanwhile, keep testing gear. Get this episode out. Want to wrap it here, or should we tease the next topic?
You know what? I would like to wrap up this one with maybe a few resources that we could talk about really quickly to help people get introduced to AI. Maybe a couple of podcasts such as this that like talking about it, but maybe more the tools. What are the most user-friendly and entry-level friendly tools that can be used today to just start understanding how to engage with AI and how to start allowing it to be something that's not so foreign.
Hey Alan, perfect wrap-up idea. Let's keep it super simple. 3 dead easy tools anyone can try today. No tech skills needed. First, ChatGPT. Just go to chatgpt.com, sign up free, and start typing questions like, explain AI like I'm 5, or help me write an email. It's like texting a super smart buddy. Second, Google Gemini. Gemini.google.com. No login if you're already on Google. Ask it anything. Recipes, travel plans, even what's AI doing in Colorado right now? Feels like Google search, but way more chatty. Third, Perplexity. Perplexity.ai. Type, what are the best free AI tools for beginners? And it gives answers with sources, like Wikipedia meets a helpful friend. No ads, no fluff. Bonus, if you want to play, try Canva's Magic Studio. Upload a photo, say, make it look like a mountain sunset, and watch AI do the work. 0 learning curve. Start with 1, mess around for 5 minutes. Suddenly, AI's not foreign. It's just useful. Want me to link any of these in the show notes?
go ahead and provide links to those, and then I'll copy paste them. That would be great. And I think for me, one of the neatest AI sort of learning tools that I've found is actually the high level coursive AI learning. I don't even know what you would call it, but it's an AI learning platform. It does represent a little bit of cost, but it really teaches you how to engage with these various with the various AIs like ChatGPT or Gemini or Perplexity. And the biggest thing I can say about AI and when getting started is don't be afraid to ask the dumb questions. Ask the AI to do something that is silly, that is creative, but don't be afraid to ask the dumb questions, and don't be afraid to sort of over ask, because the AI will come back and show you its restraints if they are presented. So I would just download any one of these apps, go ahead and get started asking questions. And I think the dumber the better, to be honest, because it will show you how it can kind of pull you along a thought process. Grok, what do you think? How should we wrap this one up, man? This is my first go. How are we finishing?
Hey, Allen, great call on the links. Here they are, clean and ready for you to copy paste. ChatGPT, chatgpt.com.
Hold on.
Google Gemini.
Hold on, Grok.
Gemini.
Sorry, I'll do that on the background. How are we gonna wrap this up, man? Something punchy. What do we do here instead of just saying goodbye?
Hey, Allen, no worries. Let's make it punchy. How about this? That's it for today's Everyday AI. Thanks for hanging out. If you're curious, scared, or just want to chat, hit us up at office@coloradoaiforum.com. We're here to help AI feel less like a mystery and more like a neighbor. See you next time. Stay curious. Then drop a quick upbeat music sting. Something local. Maybe.
All right, I'll see about that. As I get better at editing, I'll see about that. But you heard the lady. Go on ChatGPT. Go on Grok, XAI. Download one of the apps. Just get started, and we'll see you on the next episode. Take care.